Donald Trump strikes back today. Hi, everyone. I'm Gretchen Carlson. This is The Real Story. Trump unleashes a blistering assault against Hillary Clinton, partly blaming her for the rise of ISIS and accusing her of being a world-class liar.
It's a rigged system. Her server was easily hacked by foreign governments, perhaps even by her financial backers in communist China. Maybe her motivation lies among the more than 1,000 foreign donations Hillary failed to disclose while at the State Department. Hillary Clinton may be the most corrupt person ever to seek the presidency of the United States. She needs to go to prison to pay for the crimes that she's already committed against our country.
Well, right now, we're waiting for a response from Mrs. Clinton. She's expected to speak just a few minutes from now. Here's what she said earlier today.
Hi, how are you? Do you have a response? Great to see you all. We are going to win this election. We're going to take back the House and the Senate.
Chris Wallace is the anchor of Fox News Sunday. He's filling in tonight for Brett Baer on Special Report as well. But right now, he's given us the real story on this speech today. You know what I found fascinating, Chris, was that I did not see in the transcript anywhere, or when I was watching it live, that Trump actually called her crooked Hillary today. So he seemed to be a little bit more presidential from that front, but really a blistering attack nonetheless.
I was going to say, he may not have called her crooked, but he did say she's the most corrupt person ever to run for president. So it was not kid gloves he was treating her with. But having said that, and look, you can like the speech or not, you can like Trump or not, but at least it was a candidate sticking to a script, making the case against her both in terms of domestic policy, foreign policy, her ethics, giving at least some ideas about what he would do affirmatively as president, what his program would be, and what the contrast would be. He wasn't going off and attacking judges in Trump University lawsuits. This is the kind of campaign he's got to run. I thought the thing that struck me the most was when he talked at the very beginning about how the economic system is rigged and made an open bid to Bernie Sanders voters to come to him, and basically was saying, and I think this is what he's got to do, I'm the change agent, she's the establishment. If you don't like the way things are and the way they have been forever in Washington, you got to vote for me.
Yeah, he also said that the whole system was rigged. I felt like he was calling out fellow GOPers as well, because he lumped them all into being bureaucrats, you know, and basically said that they were a rigged system. I want to move on to when he attacked her, though, with regard to foreign policy and ISIS. I found this fascinating. He did mention President Obama a few times, but for the most part, he really put Obama's policies on the back of Hillary Clinton. Listen to this.
There was the disastrous strategy of announcing our departure from Iraq, handing large parts of the country over to ISIS and the ISIS killers. ISIS threatens us today because of the decisions Hillary Clinton has made along with President Obama.
You know, it was interesting. Did you also pick up on that?
Sure. And look, he's not running against Barack Obama, and oftentimes he will attack Obama. But, you know, in the end, his case has got to be against Hillary Clinton and the advice she gave the president when she was Secretary of State and the architect of his foreign policy. So he's trying to put as much of that as possible on her. And, yes, as he said at the very end there, along with President Obama. But, you know, he's running against her, not him.
Okay, now, I want to move on to this because you had a big interview. You sat down with Florida Senator Marco Rubio, asking why he changed his mind about running for re-election. Here's a snippet.
I know people in politics don't like to admit they've changed their mind, but I changed my mind. No matter who wins this presidential election, the Senate's role of being able to act as a check and balance on bad ideas from the president, I think, are going to matter more in 2017 than they perhaps ever have in our history. And that's saying a lot given what we're facing now. So I really deeply believe that I can contribute to that. I want to contribute to that. And I think whether it's Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, our next president, no matter who the next president is, we're going to need senators that are willing to encourage them to make the right decisions.
Fascinating that he's decided to run, because just in May he tweeted out, I have only said like 10,000 times, I will be a private citizen in January. What did he tell you about why he changed his mind?
Well, he basically, and what you heard there, but what I found particularly interesting, Gretchen, is he talked about being a check in the Senate on the president. Now, if it's Hillary Clinton who's the president, that would seem to make sense. But I also said, are you saying that about Donald Trump as well? Because obviously he's got a chance to be the president. And he said yes. And he made it clear, look, he and I disagree on a lot of things. He said that he still supports Trump, if only because he thinks he's better than Clinton is. But he made it clear that he thought as a senator in 2017, he will need to provide a check on the president, whether it's Clinton or Trump.
I know, it's interesting. I want to put this up on the screen because, as you know, with regard to why he's running, he said this: the prospect of a Trump presidency is also worrisome to me. His positions on many key issues are still unknown, and some of his statements, especially about women and minorities, I find not just offensive but unacceptable. So that plays into exactly what he was telling you.
Well, that's right. And he still says that he supports Trump over Hillary and that he's willing to speak for Trump at the Republican convention, but he wasn't sugarcoating his support or lack of support for Trump. He was saying, I prefer him to Hillary. I think that he'll be a better president, or she'd be a worse president, but I still disagree on a lot of issues, as of course he did throughout the entire campaign with Donald Trump. And as I say, he said the main reason he wants to be a senator is to put a check on the president, whoever it is, Trump or Clinton.
Very interesting. We can catch it tonight on Special Report when Chris Wallace fills in for Brett Baer. Chris, thank you.